mic from Joe Wormale.
What? Yeah, this is what you get when you play Marquette and you play against Shaka, and just their program. I thought it was two really good teams that were desperate, beyond desperate, beyond urgent to get this one, so it's always just an honor to play against Marquette because I got so much respect for their kids and for Shaka and the staff and the way they go about their business and the fan base and what it's like when you go play there, and just their whole organization is just top shelf. So it's always an honor to share the floor with them, and it's going to be a war. And then for me, just Alex. That was awesome. That kid. Is an all-time one of the best players, one of the most decorated players to ever play in this program, and the most decorated college active player in college basketball. So just great to see him hit that huge shot, and obviously that was huge.
Coach, y'all rebounded. Coach, y'all rebounded him tonight. What are your thoughts on the number of rebounds you had tonight?
Yeah, we're trending that way. We've been trending that way. That's a positive thing for us. That the defense is obviously not exactly where we want it to be, but the keys to the game, we had to, we had to kick their butt on the glass, and we had to take care of the ball, and we had to take away the 3-point line. I think we were willing to live with some ugly, driving scores at the rim. We lost too many battles on the ball, but for the most part, we knew we had to rebound the heck out of the ball, and be at least plus 10, if not more. And then our ball security had to be on point.
Coach, around halfway through the second half, Jalen Stewart had that massive putback dunk, and it really energized your team. You immediately went in a 10-0 run. What was your immediate reaction to the dunk? And how do you think it energized the team and really got them going?
Yeah, it was like we're not seeing as many of those types of highlight. Those are probably pretty common, or not pretty common because that was exceptional. That was explosive. That's a kid. That's the type of talent and instincts that kid's got. And he's got an awesome future. But that was a big momentum play. Just a big momentum play. And I just took a sip of my orange piss, or whatever the fans of the other programs say I drink.
Can you take us through that three from Alex, sort of what you were thinking there, and maybe what you said to him afterward?
Well, they did. We got him a little. We ran like Alex off a Horns roll to a flex to a wide pin, and Mitchell kind of, got caught up in the flex, but then Gold made a great defensive play and kind of veer switched it, and Alex could have taken a more contest three than he ended up getting, but he was able, you want to punish the veer switch by throwing it to the big, which he did, and then just an awesome play by Taras with the guard got back in front of him, Stevie Mitchell, and just to have the sense to throw it back to Alex, and so just those two guys, I just think they did a great job there. But when it went in, I'm just saying to myself, there's not a college athlete that deserved a moment like that more than that kid, with some of just the way that the year's gone for this team, and but it's March, and Alex is starting to heat up. It's March.
And Sampson with a double, career high, 11 rebounds. Do you think what Taras has done lately has kind of pushed him a little bit?
I just think some of it's been opponents, because of they didn't have a big bruising center, so today the matchup was probably more favorable for Sampson because of his athleticism and all the switching we had to do, even though I thought Taras did a pretty good job of guarding in the switches that Marquette forces you to do, because you can't play traditional ball screen defense versus they're 5 out, and it's just it's challenging. But Sampson's been in a funk. Sampson is he's a UConn guy. Loves UConn so much. I think he's he knows his career's winding down. Like a lot of older players, he's like he's going to miss this place. Like his heart is in stores, and he just the ultimate UConn warrior. And so I just think he had a better spirit about him today, and maybe a matchup that suited him better than it suited Taras in this one. Although I thought Taras had an impact too.
Coach, during that 10-0 run, the game kind of resembled almost a football or a rugby scrum. There were a lot of bodies on the floor. It felt like Jalen's store in that moment kind of utilized what the referees were allowing, essentially, right? The physicality, and that seemed to spark it even more so than the dunk. Can you talk about his impact on the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah, I mean Jalen, really guarded well. While he was in there, I thought, we struggled in some other spots defensively out there. I don't know that. Big East regular season play is, with our lack of physical strength and having some young bodies out there, that's made it more challenging for us. The way these games get officiated. Obviously, we had no free throws in the first half with how much pressure and how much aggression Marquette brings to the table. Obviously that was something I mentioned to Roger and the boys, but those guys are great. I mean, Roger's one of the best to ever wear the whistle, and Greg's one of the best young refs in the country, and Tony's obviously real good too. So but we that was a physical battle, and that's not necessarily our game. That's why I think NCAA tournament play suits us really well, because we get a little more freedom of movement. Because they just don't let people grab you in that tournament.
Coach, not to make it too much about Jalen, but he was a plus 14 team best today in only 7.5 minutes or so. Do you need him to stay in that right mindset? Even if you're only going to play 8 minutes, you got to give us something that could be important going forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's Alex was having a real good game. That stretch where Liam was struggling. Obviously, struggling offensively. He was struggling a little bit defensively. I'd like to see. He should be at 12 to 15 there. Part of it was him in the first half. He wasn't as ready to go in the first half. And when you're a bench guy and you come in the game and you're not ready to go, you're going to get a quick hook. I mean, it's just the way it is. So. But then, the second half, I really didn't want to take him off the court, but he was cramping actually in the timeout when we did get him out of there, and then, so that's the reason why he came out. I was ready to ride with him because he was making a big impact.
Dan, in the bigger picture, this win puts you to 21 at stacked 3 in a row now, and it improves your seeding. Is this kind of a season maker for you? Does this kind of change the complexion of maybe the way you look at the season from coming away with this one?
Yeah, I mean, we've been optimistic. Things we're optimistic about, or we've got, we were able to win this game with Solo and Liam going 7 for 28. We were able to win the game versus a quality team. I'm optimistic, though. The way we're rebounding the ball right now, having 3 guys that average 14 a game, that on any given night can get 20 plus. Obviously, Alex heating up in March. Haas looks healthier. Obviously we're just dying for some good backup point guard play behind Haas so that we could keep his minutes manageable. I think just, Sampson, what he did tonight with what Taras has been doing, and if we could get that quality play from center, I mean, we're optimistic. There's a lot of teams in the country that have 8, 9, 10 losses that are going to be threats to do some good things in March. And then we have this belief too, if we can take care of business on Saturday and go into New York on a roll. And, you know, when you play or coach at UConn in the month of March, if you get it rolling, you know, you think you're convinced you're supposed to win. And that we have a mental edge, I think, on a lot of people in the month of March.
Last one back here.
Dan, you've had games where there's 30 minutes of Sampson and then others where there's 30 minutes of Terrace, sometimes matchup based, like you said, sometimes foul trouble influenced. When you have one game where it ends up being more one guy than the other, do you almost have to have two kind of game plans going in because you just don't know which one's going to end up with the big minutes on a given night?
Yeah, I mean, your offensive script is completely different with Sampson and Terrace. You know, on that end of the court, you know, significantly your offensive package of things you're trying to do changes. You know, a lot, I think, you know, one of Sampson's strengths is his ball screen defense. So when you play against teams that are going to attack you in the ball screen game, you know, his ball screen defense is you know, is a lot better than Terrace's, although Terrace's has improved a lot, especially recently. But you know, that's why I just, you know, it's not hard to manage minutes. You know, when a guy, you know, Sampson was better than Terrace tonight. He was more impactful, so he played 25 minutes. You know, Terrace was better than Sampson in the Providence game. He was having way more of an impact, so Terrace played 28 or 30 minutes, whatever. I mean, the easiest job I have as a coach is distributing minutes, and then, you know, deciding who to play in our rotation. 8-9 has gotten tough this year because you know, it just, that's been more of a challenge. But the easiest job I got is just who should play. I mean, if a guy's playing like shit, you just want him off the court, and the guy that's playing well, you just leave him on the court.
Move on. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Coach.